Hey guys, Genevieve here. You know what time it is. It is time for our full moon and Aquarius video. So this is occurring Wednesday morning here on the East Coast around 10:36 a.m. This is in the sign of Aquarius. And so my Aquarius full moon blend is called Genesis, and I've explained to you before my reasoning behind that. No, we don't consider Leo season and the Aquarius full moon the beginning of the new astrological year. But it, for me personally, it is my full moon. It's my moon. And it also is the beginning of kind of a new age, a new cycle of forward thinking stuff that is Aquarius themed. So that's kind of why I named it that. It has notes. It's kind of it's bright and uplifting. It kind of gives you energy, but it also helps spark the creative process, the thought process, and kind of tries to keep you airy and uplifted a bit with all that spicy, fiery Leo energy going on, right? So the body parts that are associated with this full moon are the calf, ankle, shin, and Achilles heel. Okay. So just, be extra protective and cautious around these areas. They will be prone to accident and injury at this time. So our elements. Now this is energy and action and idea. Mostly energy and action with that fiery Leo sun. 14 elements to fire signs or aspects to elements. 9 to air, only 2 to earth, and only 2 to water. So while there is always emotion associated with full moon, that's going to be kind of on the low at this point because all these fire aspects, man, it is time to get moving. It's time to get doing stuff. So, what are they? Well, I don't always mention the ascendant, but the ascendant is in Aries, okay, fire sign. Sun is in Leo, Moon in Aquarius, Mercury is in Cancer, Venus is in Virgo, Mars is in Gemini, Jupiter is in Leo, Saturn is in Aries, Uranus is in Gemini, Neptune is in Aries, and Pluto is in Aquarius. So, as you can see, our fire and our air that is highlighted, it's pretty much all, as far as fire goes, all Leo and Aries. Sag doesn't really play too much of a role in this. And then the air is Aquarius and Gemini. And so Libra doesn't really play too much of a role in this. And then the water signs that we do have is just basically that Cancer. Earth is that Virgo. So let's jump into it. So we already know, right, that full moon, or at least we should know by now, that the full moon is an opposition between the sun and the moon. And looking at the chart, and you'll see it once I share it, that is, of course, going to be the biggest challenge. And the challenge is just because between the balance of our emotions, or our inner side, and our outer side. Sorry guys, my hair was getting on my nerves. What we show the world, or our ego versus kind of our shadow. The sun is also conjunct Jupiter being in Leo. So this is going to give us optimism, confidence, growth potential is highlighted under this, all right? It is trine Saturn. This is where we need to make an effort to be more reliable and patient. This aspect support that. But with it being in fire signs, it can be a challenge, right? Because like patience and predictability are not necessarily fire sign traits, right? It is sextile Uranus, so this lends to original creative thinking, energy to implement ideas and project. It is also trine Neptune, so this lends to that creative, compassionate energy. It's abounding at this time. It's drawing others to us and wanting to belong to causes larger than ourselves. Now, there is an opposition to Pluto also, because Pluto is in Aquarius, so this is a minor challenge, but this can lead to some power struggles, and intense relationships are possible now. But some people might be triggered by those who exhibit qualities of our shadow. Okay, like I'm trying to bring that back into here. So if we are more kind of reserved usually, and people are exhibiting that opposite energy to us, it could trigger us a little bit, and vice versa. If we're more outgoing, more kind of bold and assertive and confident, and people that are a little bit more withdrawn or moody might kind of like annoy us at this time. So again, all the aspects of the sun are minor except for that full moon opposition. Now with moon in Aquarius, the emotions are complicated by the need for freedom. Freedom is definitely an Aquarius theme. Some will seem withdrawn, and others will publicly display anger and jealous tendencies. All right, that is really kind of, again, the shadow of suppressing emotion is expressing it kind of just too much, too over the top, because it's been withheld for so long. It is opposite to the sun. We've talked about it is opposite Jupiter. So this is that continuous struggle between our desire for adventure and expansion with our need for comfort and security. So, and when this is an air-fire combination, though, these signs should lessen the impact of that aspect. But it can be a real struggle for some. We just want to strive for balance and inspire others to do the same at this time. Now, the moon is trine Uranus. So this is a major, major positive aspect. This is bringing feelings kind of independence and spontaneity, supporting our personal growth and individuality, but it can lead to somewhat unpredictable behavior. Our authentic selves are shining through, though, at this time. And it is sextile Neptune. So this highlights our intuition, our compassion. They are emphasized under this, as well as healing and creative fields. There is a conjunction with Pluto here. So especially since both of these planets are in Aquarius, our emotional selves are most comfortably expressed in private. Going back to that, right? Since they are very intense and can be overwhelming at this time. So just be cautious about that. Work toward honest, vulnerable expression rather than to intensely control the situation by using emotion as a manipulative tactic. Now, Mercury is in Cancer, so this is still highlighting that emotional communication style. Again, the Cancer, like Mercury, is being prominent here. It just went direct. So emotional intelligence, compassion are highlighted, as well as careers in nurturing and healing professions. Again, going back to that, it is sextile Venus. This is a minor positive influence. This reinforces gentle and kind communication style. Relationships feel supportive, nurturing, and reciprocal at this time. Very important. And I'm talking about true relationships, not surface level relationships, not casual dating scenarios. We're talking about real relationships. So here we are. Where we are. Oh, it is square Saturn. Yeah. I was trying to hide that and avoid that. It can't be avoided. This is a minor challenge, though. So it's involving that confidence and negative self-talk that's kind of been a theme for a month or so now. Where logical thinking and surrounding ourselves with other expressive souls can help negate the power of that challenge, okay? So, yeah, we might have a little struggle of our confidence or unsure if how we're expressing ourselves is accurate, but be around people, like-minded people who will support you and who are also expressive. Venus is in Virgo. So again, this is that practical and steady energy in matters of the heart. This is quiet expression. But remember that perfection is not the goal, right? Sometimes Virgo, especially, wants things to be absolute perfect, wants their partner to feel wonderful and rosy and happy all the time, and feels like if they're not, it's a failure. And that is not the case at all. People are weird. None of us, we're real people, and real things are not perfect. So it is square Mars in Gemini, and this was going on a couple weeks ago too. So this one here is a major challenge. It's been building since the last new moon, where our desires might clash and break the harmony in relationships. We may long for romance, but then quickly get bored with our partners, causing hurt feelings, right? So find new and fun things to do with your steady partner. Boredom is not a bad thing necessarily, because it does create a challenge for us to find something new and original to do, new and original ways to express ourselves. It is also trying the ascendant, which is in Aries. And like I said, I don't always talk about this aspect, but considering that this is Aries and it's retrograde, this is reinforcing a reluctance to be in social situations where unknown variables might be at play. Like, we might want to be social, but if we're unsure of the vibe, we're unsure of what might it really be all about, we might just want to bow out. Mars is in Gemini. We already discussed those aspects. Jupiter is in Leo. We may be feeling excited, positive, self-confident, but that might come across as arrogant or know-it-all or draining to people with less need for social approval. Please refrain from investing time and energy in those people and things that drain and make you feel uncomfortable. Focus on those that match your energy. This is a theme of mine, guys, and it's something I'm really also trying to work on and learn throughout my life. You can give, and pour into a bucket, and then you realize it's never getting filled because there's a hole in it, right? So as soon as you recognize that, turn that, what you're pouring into, to people that are receptive to it, okay? So with this also, it is sextile. Jupiter in Leo is sextile Uranus. So this is a major positive that supports new methods of conducting business, working on creative projects, authentic expression, and personal interactions with integrity are highlighted under this. With it trine Neptune, we are kind of feeling in tune with community and world around us. We are working on building bridges through creativity and intuition, spirituality, especially in the fields of law, medicine, and the healing professions. There is an opposition to Pluto, so this is the theme of questioning authority and how it meshes with our own core values. This theme is going to continue, guys, and our ability to overcome these challenges does inspire others. Okay, so again, this is a major theme. Pluto is going to be retrograde and will be for a while, and so we will continue to have the opportunity to master this challenge. And that is the bonus of it. Sometimes it's like, I thought we're done with this already. Well, no, this is a generational thing, guys. So we are, Saturn is retrograde in Aries. Here we go. So this placement and the retrograde movement are giving us an opportunity to rework those themes of assertiveness versus aggressiveness, to stop kind of repressing ourselves and overcome what is holding us back from experiencing success. And again, this isn't just for Aries placements. This isn't just for people with Saturn prominent in their charts. This is for everybody. So yes, Uranus is in Gemini still. We discussed the aspects that we already have done all that. Neptune is also in Aries in retrograde. So generational aspect, again, that influences courage to fight like warriors. Here's a theme, and this actually popped up yesterday while I was socializing with friends. that warrior energy that influence us to be courageous for causes that affect all of humanity. Okay. We're reworking those themes to learn how to channel our impulses into effective action. So now with with Neptune is trine Pluto, which is also in retrograde. Yeah, this one. Both of the planets are retrograde. This is a powerful sextile. It's another long-lasting generational aspect. It's pushing us to embrace transformation, calling us to service to service for a more perfect, peaceful, compassionate world. And so that's all of the kind of major aspects. My biggest takeaway that I want you to get from this is the largest positive influences are the longest lasting ones. That Pluto-Uranus aspect, that Uranus-Neptune aspect, and the Neptune-Pluto aspects and transits. They will all stick around long enough to allow both older and younger generations to work with the energy to help each other work and I keep using the word work because this is work, guys, but it's good work, are specific styles of magic. Like the older generations have gifts and knowledge, the younger generations have gifts and knowledge. And this is for us to work together to bring about this collective global transformation and healing I've been talking about now for a while. The interplanetary aspects are the most difficult in this full moon. But they transit more frequently, meaning, thankfully, we don't have to deal with a lot of that intensity too long. And of course, I'm talking about the sun and the moon opposition, Venus and Mars aspect, and to a lesser extent, the sun and Pluto, because that is a challenge. Sun moves quickly, every 28 days or every month. Pluto's going to stick out there for a while, but it's going to aspect different planets differently. So I hope this resonates with you guys. I hope you're going to be ready for this full moon on Wednesday morning. Get your hands on my Genesis blend. Definitely is a wonderful full moon to charge your crystals under, especially if you're wanting transformation, if you're wanting a breakthrough, if you are wanting more insight and collective just energy, working with new groups of people, different ideas, learning new things, growth, inner growth, spiritual growth, collective community growth. Charge your crystals. Genesis, begin now. And as I said that, I just heard a roll of thunder. So we are getting another little storm here this afternoon. But take care. Blessed be. Email me or message me if you're confused about anything that it is I talk about. Of course, I always am open to discourse. And I will share those charts in the comments. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. Have a great week.